Sitting down for a morning cup of coffee when black flies crawl and penetrate your flesh in every open orifice and piece of skin. I'm going to take a second here to introduce a sponsor for this video. This is what really makes this trip possible because of the extreme expenses associated with float plane charters in the far north. AG1 is a comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition with 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients made just for about everybody. You can tell that I already made cowboy coffee in this thing here. I've been drinking it just about every day for about 4 months now. It's great on trips when you're pushing hard, your body is really exerting itself. You might not always get the same diet that you might get at home, and that's why AG1 offers these little travel packets, which is great. At home, I have just like a larger little jar that I keep in the fridge and scoop out every day. So you know what? You can't put a price on your health, I say. And if you want to try it out, it tastes coconutty, fruity. It's actually really delicious. I look forward to drinking it every day. You can actually click the link in my description and sign up. AG1 is offering 5 free travel packs for your first purchase and also a year's supply of 2 great supplements if you sign up. I don't typically do like ad inserts in my videos, but if it's a company that I can really get behind, who has a really good product that has a place on canoe expeditions, and I can help promote them and share it with my followers at the same time as letting that help fund some of these adventures, then I think it's a win. So check it out. You can click the link in my description and get those free travel packs as well as the year supply of supplements if you sign up. This is a first aid kit with antibiotics because, you know, when you have a cut like this, you can wind up in a lot of trouble. All right. Okay, ladies and germs, we are on the water after feeding the black flies for about 2.5 hours this morning. We've kind of just accepted that we're on a later schedule and that maybe it doesn't matter because it never gets dark. But fortunately, we have a bit of a wind, so we won't have to paddle in a cloud of black flies today. Although it's a headwind, unfortunately. Starting out with a long, shallow rapid and still struggling with the ultra low water conditions. But looks like the first one we can run, dodging some boulders. By the last set, it's looking like we might have to kind of get out and wade. But yeah, nothing too challenging. Again, it's just Ted's canoe being this material, this vinyl material and all that. You know, it can't really take smashing into rocks like this one can. All right, here we go. Run a little of the white water. We're running the white water, white water. Wow, what beautiful country. Just so rugged and mountainous. Just picking our way through this boulder field. Looks like we might have to get out and drag at some point, but we're gonna make it as far down as we can. No. Now this next part looks like we're gonna have to wade. Yikes. Not ideal for a pack canoe. Like, that canoe has a skin made out of vinyl. It's not a hard shell at all. Oh man. Yeah, Ted's saying if we had to wade this in portage, it would have taken like 4 hours. So we're in the middle of a big crossing here. Should have stayed right and then jumped over where the lake narrowed, but sometimes you just make a decision, and Ted wants to make a decision. I just agree, because you get lost in going back and forth about what you should do. But this probably wasn't the best choice. It's okay now, but like lower pressure is moving in, and we're getting some white caps. We're out in the middle of a cold Arctic lake here. It's about 11 kilometers long in a straight line. So after we finish this lake, we're gonna have what's likely the most challenging whitewater obstruction of the trip so far. It's warmed up quite a bit. I recommend not getting a black life jacket, guys. It's way too hot, and heat stroke becomes more of a potential concern. Same with your dry suit. I had a pair of a dry suit with black pants. In those hot days where you have to wear a dry suit because the water is still hypothermic cold, you can get heat stroke. It really takes a lot out of you, that black. So that's why I got this much lighter color. And I wouldn't get a black life jacket again either. I see what looks potentially like another moose. Well, look at this. We got some current here. This slowly starting to pick up. Getting closer to the end of this lake. It's been so far about a 10-kilometer paddle into consistent headwinds. Nothing too gusting, but had to work for that 10K. And looks like there's a little swift up here. Duct tape two paddles together to create a kayak paddle, because he says I'm too fast, which naturally was a large ego boost to me. Yeah. So now we're in Esker Lake. So I guess we're going that way, and that's the bay, right? We'll try to stay right, and we'll be sheltered from this crosswind. Well, we have paddled probably about 25K now. late in the evening, but it's so beautiful out. We've got patches of snow and ice in the hills here still. And probably going to need to catch a fish pretty soon. Patches of current here. It's becoming more and more river-like with every stroke for the most part. Look at this little fatty here, huh? We decided to push on even though it was pretty late in the evening. Never gets dark here, of course, so how much that matters, I don't know. But typically the evenings have been calmer, then all of a sudden, pretty strong east wind, northeast wind picked up. And basically, you know, we were traveling through a narrow part of the lake, but essentially pushed us to the other side without even realizing it. And then waves got pretty big, so we're battling winds right now. At this point, it's pretty much a headwind. Oh, the wind blew up on us. We're just trying to find a place to land the boats here without the waves crashing us on the rocks, but we've made it to where we're gonna camp. Hopefully there's a flat spot up there, but anyways, the wind is okay. As long as it doesn't keep up like this tomorrow, we'll keep the bugs down, so sunny times. Long day on the water. We paddled about 25 to 30K today. Okay, and I'm just gonna rehydrate some beef stew. Essentially, I'm just cutting up the stewed beef into cubes, dusting it with a little flour, browning it in a pan, putting it aside, then taking my vegetables, carrots, celery, potatoes, onions, cutting them all up, and then putting it with my beef broth all together to just slow cook for a long time. And after it's done, I salt it, season it to taste, and then put it in the dehydrator racks in the oven on low or whatever I find. And again, I'm gonna have to eat it in one of Ted's empty freeze-dried meal baggies. I just bring my lard in a tub, just a tub of lard basically. Lard's doesn't spill, it's lighter, and it's actually a whole food too. So some of the things you hear about some of these vegetable oils and canola oil and the process it goes through started to scare me as well. So, but first a wee dram. Oh, you take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. For me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. So bad. Well, a little watery.
It's like a mommy's foot.
I Never warmed it back up. Kind of tastes like a mummy's foot. All right, it is nighttime. See if I can get this done before I get attacked. So it's nighttime of day 7. It's probably about 11 o'clock. We paddled about 25 to 30 kilometers today. So good day on the water considering we had a headwind for a lot of it. Didn't do a ton of fishing today, but when we thought it was about time to catch fish for dinner, dropped a line, and sure enough, perfect eating size laker came up about 5 minutes later. So pretty special that you can do that here. And tomorrow we're going to be finished this lake, weather permitting, if we don't get pinned here by wind, knock on wood. We'll be right into the thick of it. We'll right into the Hood River. We're going to be running rapids, and the current's going to be helping carry us too. Likely we're going to start seeing more wildlife with the narrower river, and the river also will likely have more vegetation along the banks, meaning there'll be more animals like muskox and caribou and predators that follow them too. So pretty awesome. We're also going to be getting into some Arctic char. There's going to be some more portages around beautiful falls, so lots of just absolutely gorgeous sights to see out here. So really excited for the rest of this trip, and I hope tomorrow, day 8, is going to be a good one. Good morning. It is the morning of day 8, and the wind died at some point in the night, and it's a beautiful morning. Cooled down a good little bit, but it was still really hot in the tent, which forced Ted and I to get up around 7. This is a massive lake, like just huge, and you never know what can happen, because you know, if the winds blow up, you could be windbound, so we don't want that to happen. But we have a ways to go on it. Got to round a big point, head out on a long stretch, and then basically after that we're done with the lakes, with the headwater lakes, and we'll have paddled 100 kilometers of headwater lakes, and you know, completed all the portages and other challenges in between them too. And we'll be in the Hood River proper, and we should have some white water today too, potentially a portage and another, what is seeming like it's likely going to be a fun run, just judging by the water level and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna get to it and get packed up and get on the water. I feel like, what did we do right to get this weather? Like the freaking weather gods are on our side here. The mosquitoes have joined us. Well, I've been making Ted coffee because the cowboy coffee is a little better than the instant, and I'm making it, so when we run out of mine, we'll get it to Ted's more, but time for the spin. Ted's coffee cup is way bigger than mine, which I don't think is fair. So maybe I should give him the one with the grinds in it. Just to kind of balance things out here. Good coffee. Okay, day 8. Back in the canoe. Let's stay left and cross at the point. No? Okay.
It's blowing us that way.
Right. Yeah, we're just discussing what's the best way. You know, we want to be on the other side, but crossing directly, well, we're not getting towards where we want to get, and all the waves will be broadsiding us. So we decided to make a bit of a bigger crossing, but use the wind and the waves as a bit of a tailwind. And they're sort of quartering us from our starboard side, and we're heading for this point. So yeah, it's pretty good. Well, unfortunately, this lake goes around a bit of a horseshoe, so the winds have picked up into a pretty substantial tailwind here. We crossed another bay, but the wind's really helping us, and the whitecaps aren't breaking under us. Like, they're not big enough to cause us issues yet, so really fun, actually. We're just close to shore here, but as we round this big bend, we might be going into this, so we'll see how it is. We might be able to take the west shore and be somewhat blocked, or the south shore, I guess. I don't know. We're just rounding this point, and we see whitecaps. So we don't really know what's up. We might, if we really hug the shore, we might be kind of blocked from the wind. But we also don't want the wind to push us out into the lake.
Close too, in case you have to bust out our rain.
And it looks like rain's coming from this direction too, so we'd have to climb out of the boat to access our rain gear. So yeah, we'll just kind of get into it, and if it's too dangerous, it's too dangerous. That's definitely a moose there. Yeah, no, that's definitely a moose. Right in the middle of my frame there. So we're hoping this might be the hardest stretch. We're staying close to shore just for safety, and we think the wind will be less through here, but after we can tuck in and get up close to those big cliffs, we might be more blocked. Tough to say. It's actually much more of a headwind than I'd anticipated it would be. Oh my God, that was by far the hardest 2 kilometers of the trip. Just beast paddling, inching along into that wind. But it's looking like these cliffs, not cliffs, but the steep bank is gonna provide some protection from it, at least till we hit the next point. So it's also not the best because you couldn't exactly pull over easily along here, but you get what you get. Well, we are completely sheltered here, but it might only last until we round the next point, unfortunately. Son of a bitch, eh? Look at the wind up there. Well, we're back into this wind now. Waves aren't big, but they don't have time to build. But we're gonna try to battle our way back into shore. Looks like we might be getting some rain here too. This is like a little sheltered cove we're in though, eh?
Yeah, like just around this corner looks really challenging, dude.
Wind's pouring over this hill right here. and sort of hitting me, and I'm almost able to sort of ferry with the wind. So I'm just pointing my canoe on an angle, and I'm still battling it a bit, but it's kind of more or less pushing me in the direction I want to go, even though I'm not pointing there. Well, we just made it to the end of the lake. Now we're crossing it, so a bit of a tailwind. But it looks like the winds have died down some, so in the end, we did pretty good. Well, there's caribou prints back on that beach, and it's really shallow across the whole river here. We are officially through the headwater lakes and all the connecting river. So we've just paddled over 100 kilometers of flat water. Now we are coming to a different portion of the trip. After today, there's 11 days left still to make it to the Arctic coast, where we're going to rendezvous with a float plane in the middle of the Arctic wilderness that's going to fly us back to Yellowknife. But right now we have everything that the Hood River is going to throw at us, starting with a class 5 rapid, then a long rapid today, then long sections of boulders and swifts and fast current where hopefully we can make some good time, but we'll need to stay on our toes, and then a massive waterfall, an 11-kilometer portage among other things, but it's going to be really beautiful. Wow, we're just flying now that we're back in the current. I think that kind of looks like a bear cub print. Yeah. Done the first trip of the portage, and as I was coming over this big esker, I looked at the view and I saw caribou hanging out on the side of the river. So maybe when we put the canoe in, we'll go see it, which is pretty cool. Oh my God, I have a beast, dude. I'm gonna need the net. This one's huge. It's a good size, dude. Fishing's better here than in the lake. Woo! Nice one. Goodbye, bud. Yeah! Woo! We're just near the put-in where I just caught that tank, and there's a little tributary rolling in. Ted noticed like 8 to 10 lake trout just basically in this little estuary from this creek, just sitting there chilling. Smaller size one, but like I've never seen anything quite like that before with lake trout. It's unbelievable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lake trout just all in here. So this little spot is loaded at the likes of something me and Ted have pretty much never seen. Trout I caught was, I don't know, probably 12 pounds, maybe more. But we're leaving. Such awesome habitat here for the fish. We were considering camping at the end of that portage trail, but it's the kind of place where if we got a big hammering of rain, we might get flooded. So we decided against it, and we're gonna continue on to the next set of rapids, and we'll probably camp there if there's a half decent spot. That was really cool. Just got to have a really good look at two healthy bull caribous, both with big racks and velvet still, of course. They're almost a little curious, a little spooky. They're sort of running back and forth, but I saw one, it ran away, and I thought, okay, I put my camera away. That was pretty awesome. I turned back, it's running back along the sandbar with another one. So there's two of them running past me. Pretty cool. Wow, I think this is probably the rapid coming up. Black Rock Rapid, named after a hedge fund. Just kidding. Apparently there's a huge black rock in it. I think we're gonna camp here. So far from up here, it looks pretty good. We have enough food, so we didn't keep a fish today, even though we caught some nice ones, and that'll just speed us up with getting to bed. You know, we'll eat some of the food we brought and make our load lighter, so we have less to carry around the gigantic portage that's coming up and the other small ones to get there. Well, we have gotten to camp late once again, but who cares? It was fixing to rain, but Ted put on his raincoat so it would stop, which worked. And we're camped pretty close to the water, which is convenient. However, we're worried that we might get flooded out here. Some of these Arctic rivers, the water level can go up fast because permafrost, which is just essentially ice underneath the dirt, prevents the surface layer of dirt from soaking up very much water because it's not very thick. So they take in a lot more runoff than a typical river down south. And but anyways, we've put our stuff further back and decided that if we do flood, we'll just get up and drag our canoe up there. So I think we'll be fine here 9 times out of 10. So I'm gonna make Thanksgiving dinner today. And essentially what Thanksgiving dinner is, it's actually a brilliant and easy way to do a dehydrated meal because, yeah, it's really good. And the only thing you actually have to dehydrate is turkey. So this is canned turkey. Then what you do is you buy craisins, you buy stovetop stuffing, you buy instant mashed potatoes, and you put all that in here, like so. And then you add the turkey to that, I have the cranberries in here. You add the turkey to that and then you eat it. So it's not like, you know, Thanksgiving dinner, all the portions separated on your plate. It's sort of like all in one, but it tastes remarkably like Thanksgiving dinner, which is awesome. And I brought this gravy, turkey gravy. So I think I might just like dump, I've never tried this before, but I think I just might dump some of the powder in and see what happens. Gravy powder to it too. All right, we're gonna let that sit. All right, here we go. That is my Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe it could use a little more water. Nailed it, Ted. Wow.